Good afternoon, everyone. Steve Georgie here from Allendale's trading floor. It's August 22nd. We had a little bit lower trade here today. Corn down 4 cents, beans down 4 3/4, with wheat down about 5. Crop tour continues, moving through Illinois and Ohio and Iowa today. So we should get those numbers from the tour. But we found some better yields today. As these guys had gone through, which that's still the primary focus. Guys are watching Twitter right now and seeing what kind of yields that they're putting out and trading accordingly. So whether or not it's they're right or not, it's what guys are listening to. We've actually been closer to what USDA puts out and in the last few years, and the only reason that we've done that is because of you guys out there in our survey that we do. So we've been calling producers the last several days. If we've not called you and have not touched base with you, you can go online, get out in your fields, take a look at what the crop looks like, do some yield checks, but also send in your findings to us as well. You could do that right online or give us a call. We'd be glad to take that. We've been pretty accurate over the last several years because nobody knows better than you guys and what your crop looks like. So we know this year is very tough just because we've got a big divergence between one field to the next, but that's why we need your help even more. So get out there, take a look at that, and really help us out. Something that we were down harder than how we finished today for a lot of the session. But then talks on the floor started to pick up again. Rosenthal, Collins, they were expected to buy 10,000 March 1080 calls, and for corn, and I guess it came out they only bought 1,000 of them, not 10,000. So they blew that up a little bit bigger than they thought. But still, there's talks of all this bullishness out there. So be careful of that. Going back to last year, once the market had topped, we had seen a lot of bullish attitude, bullish talks, bullish momentum. Just buy it because we're going up. It's kind of the feeling that we're getting right now. So be careful. Beans today, we did have a pretty wild range. They moved around quite a bit. I expect that they probably will tomorrow. But this crop tour does move into Minnesota tomorrow, and that we may get some pretty good yields out of Minnesota as well. We all know that they probably have the best. They did have the most moisture, for the major part of the growing region, or the growing year, and could see some pretty good yields out of Minnesota tomorrow. The weather kind of been on the back burner, but the 1 to 5 day forecast did increase some rain from Kansas City to Chicago, and that looks to increase rainfall. The 6 to 10 day, there's not much rain out there, but the temperatures are supposed to stay mild, and then the 11 to 16 day, little cooler temps, but also western Corn Belt to get a little more rain. I think the grains are going to finish out. Corn and beans, we're going to see them finish up and at least finish out here at this point. The weather doesn't seem to be an issue and probably won't be an issue from here forth. A lot of guys are going to be watching what the yield looks like more so than what the rain looks like here short term. Something else that may end up being a little positive tomorrow, if we see the dollar continue to drop back. It fell today 36 cents due to this talk of another round of quantitative easing, or QE3. With that said, it's basically of just printing money. Are we going to go ahead and flood more money to the economy to stimulate stimulate buying and to stimulate the economy? If we end up doing that, the dollar is probably going to continue back down, and we're going to see further declines in the dollar, which in turn helps commodities, and we usually see more of a bullish commodity feel. But that's what happened today. We'll see if they actually do that. I don't know, but it seems like they've threatened that the last few times, and they haven't done it. So, this might just be something that they're selling it right now, and you end up buying the fact once it happens. But crude oil jumping today up 42 cents, finding some support off of this news. And the metals were much stronger today just because the dollar breaking back as well. As far as livestock, fat cattle today dropping back 32 cents. Box beef, second day of mixed trade. Choice down 19, select up 30. It seems that the Labor Day buying demand here is over with. And so this bullishness that we had seen over the last several weeks has calmed down. We're expecting to see cattle trade this week, steady, and that should probably keep us at a very choppy market here as far as cattle. But cold storage report came out here a little bit ago. Looks pretty good for pork, but just all right in the beef. So maybe see us pull back a little bit more on that beef. But overall right now, the beef or cattle have been pretty strong, and I don't look for it to drop back too much at this point. But hogs, we saw a $2.55 drop in hogs today. We saw a big decrease, a big pullback today, made new lows in several of these contracts, and certainly had more of a bearish close. So that may continue to see some follow-through selling tomorrow. If these technicians get in here and continue to trade. But as I mentioned, cold storage looked a little bit better on pork. Maybe we could find a little support here, but the charts are negative right now. We typically see a seasonal decline for hogs, and we continue to see them drop back. So be careful on those hogs as well. As I mentioned earlier, with our survey that's out, I do want to encourage you guys to get us your numbers and to get us what kind of yields you guys have out there. We'd greatly appreciate that. You can do that online, allendale-inc.com, or give us a call with any questions you have at 800-262-7538. Hope you had a great day today. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care.